Sometimes in ponytown you see something that you just can't unsee. And most of the time this is something wacky, like something a person in the game did, or something you wish you could unsee. Today I'm going to share a lot of things in the game right now that once I noticed them, I was unable to notice them. For example, did you ever notice that the dandelions kind of look like plates? You ever notice how they're just growing plates? It's a little bit weird, but it's going to get even weirder because this next one here on the list is something only supporters have at the moment, but eventually all players will have, and that is a mini-map. If we open up this mini-map, there's actually something on this mini-map that once you see it, it's kind of hard to unsee, and that's this area right here, basically right in the middle. There's just a big exclamation mark, and let's just go visit that area real quick, just to kind of show what this is. And this is that area on the map. If we open it up again, you can see that I am now directly in front of the bench, which is creating that shape, and this lantern box here. It's kind of goofy because you would think that the lantern box wouldn't show up on the minimap, but it does. All the lantern boxes are here on the minimap. For example, there's one over here, there's one right here, and there's one right over here. Those two things combined create this weird exclamation mark here on the minimap, but if we actually go into the game itself, not only is this slightly over to the right, so the exclamation mark really just kind of isn't here, you would never think to create these two things together, put them together, and make an exclamation mark. It's kind of silly, but it is what it is. For the rest of these, however, we're going to go on to the party island and check out a lot of items, because a lot of items get really weird. Alrighty, here on our party island, I'm going to welcome you to the Unseeable Cafe, or the Unseeable Bakery, whatever you want to call it. You come in here, and you order something on the table, and you just leave. There's basically no seating. I guess there's seating outside, I guess, but just a lot of stuff in here is unseeable once you see it. So let's go ahead and start with the table, the food that you can order here at the bakery. For example, we have these rosebuds. This one might feel a little bit of a stretch, but if you've ever seen these next to a Christmas tree in the game, they're called festive trees, by the way. Well, no, are they not called festive trees? Decorated pine. Decorated pine and large decorated pine. If you've ever seen one of these next to a rose hip, you'll notice that the bulbs are actually almost the same shape and size as the rose hip. So if we just put this on there, I could put these onto the tree at least a little bit, and honestly, that red one that I just put on there, can you tell that it's a rose hip? I bet you didn't. I bet you couldn't tell that it wasn't a rose hip, because it is a rose hip, and it just looks like it. I don't know why it looks like that. I mean, I guess it's because the same artist made both of them, but they look like Christmas bulbs. This should be something that you take note of, if nothing else, because this can be used in some interesting builds. If you combine this maybe with some vines or some other thing like leaves or something like that, you might be able to create your own like weird Christmas tree or like your own weird Christmas lights or something like that. And I think that could go a long way. But next up, let's go to the next table because, oh no, someone's already gotten to the table. They've taken a bite out of my mushroom. I can't believe they've done this. This is another unseeable thing. Once you see the bite in this mushroom, let me go ahead and get it. It's called a something mushroom. I guess it's not called a something mushroom. If we get this porcini and spam a bunch of these down, and just kind of zoom in on them a little bit like that, it really straight up looks like a bite has been taken out of the mushroom. We noticed this one a while back whenever we were doing a spot the edit thing, and someone pointed out that it looked like someone bit into the mushroom, but the mushroom just looks like that for some reason. It's really weird. Someone did comment eventually saying that this is probably on purpose because there's a certain slug or something like that that eats these types of mushrooms, and maybe that's a reference to it somehow. Very odd if that is the case, and I don't know. It just looks like someone took a bite of this mushroom. They don't look like that in real life. I don't know why it just looks like it has a bite taken out of it. I straight up cannot figure out what the point of it is. I always assumed it was like a glare or a reflection, or maybe it's just the mushroom just has a spot on it. But looking at the porcini mushrooms in real life, they just don't have that. So I'm not sure what it's meant to be. Maybe it is meant to be a bite, but once you've seen that, you can't unsee it. It's just a bite. They get so big that you can't pick them up anymore, and then they get a bite out of them. I don't know what's up with that, but I can't unsee it, and now I hope you can unsee it too. Next up, we have something that I kind of found on the event server not too long ago. If you guys just saw that video, the tarts, the little beautiful tarts are not just a tart; they're a deep dish pizza. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but just look at this, and then we'll look at deep dish personal pizza on Google. And look, I mean, look, Chicago, like, look, compare that to it looks the same. It looks the same in my opinion, and I can't unsee that now. So every time I see the tarts from here on out, I'm probably gonna be calling them pizza, because we've had pizza as an emoji for the longest time. It's a thing, and people have always wanted pizza in the game. Well, guess what? Ponytown added pizza into the game a long time ago in the form of tarts. They secretly added pizza. It's a secret pizza. It's a whole weird thing, and I can't unsee that. Next up, let's go towards the back, because there's something weird about the calendars. Not only is this one marked with yellow, it doesn't have an exclamation mark next to it, or I guess a bench and a lantern box. The other two do, so this one's weird by itself, but for some reason the spring calendar has no events going on whatsoever, at least nothing that needs to be circled, which is another weird thing. I guess it's not something that, like, once you see it, you can't unsee it or anything like that. It's just a weird quirk of the calendar. I'm not sure why they decided to do this, but for whatever reason, something important happens on the days in fall and winter, but not in spring for some reason. And then in summer, there's only one thing that happens. I'm gonna guess that the event that's being circled in the summer calendar is when school gets out or something like that. And then the other two are like, oh no, school's coming back. Oh gosh, what are we gonna do? And then the last one is like, yes, winter break or something. And then spring is just like, well, isn't there normally a spring break in school? I don't know, but I guess they just don't get one in this universe. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna assume is the theory for this, but just a fun little thing there. It's different than the others for some reason. I don't know why. Now, we have a couple of more things. Let's go ahead and change the time to night, because there's something else we need to talk about, and that is the flame in the lanterns. They actually look like cookies a little bit. If you look at the star-shaped cookie and compare it to the flame that's in the lantern, this again was something that was shared or pointed out in the Spot the Edit video that we did. It kind of looks like a cookie a little bit. It kind of looks like the cookie is just in there. Like if we just did that, you kind of wouldn't notice right away, right? It kind of has the same shape. I don't really know how else to say it other than it just looks like it has the same shape. So that is another weird thing. But the last one I have saved, and it is the best one, because ladies and gentlemen, the item rack 2. Do you notice anything strange about it whatsoever? Now, obviously, it has the rose hips on it, which kind of look like Christmas lights. But ladies and gentlemen, when I point this out to you, you are probably going to hate me, because let's take a look at that photo there. Have you ever wondered what that photo is? You ever think, like, is it meant to be an orange? Is it meant to be a pumpkin? Is it meant to be like a pumpkin sitting on hay or something like that? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Lorax. That's exactly what this is. I saw this on this at the same time I saw the other ones and the Spot the Edit thing. I was trying to look for the edit, and I saw this thing in the painting, and I was like, I know that's not the edit, but it looks like the Lorax. And ever since then, I cannot unsee it. I don't know what it is about it, but you can go ahead and hate this item forever now, or love it, worship it, whatever you want to do. But to me, I don't know why, it just looks like the Lorax. So take of that information what you will, take all the other information that I've given you here, and do whatever else you want with it. But that is all I have here for you today. So I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all of those wonderful things like that. Because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you just get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful. There's no pearls here. R.I.P. I was hoping to get a pearl at the end of the video, because then it would have been like, ooh, wee, a pearl, yippee. And no, it just didn't happen.